Welcome to MR English Podcast, your daily space for real conversations, useful vocabulary, and gentle motivation to help you speak naturally. I'm Emma.
And I'm James.
James, I want you to do something with me right now. Close your eyes for just 3 seconds.
Okay, eyes closed. I hope you aren't about to drop a fake spider on my desk, Emma.
No spiders today, I promise. Now imagine a large, bright, juicy yellow lemon sitting on a wooden cutting board. You take a sharp knife, slice it right down the middle, pick up a half, and take a big, deep bite into the sour juice.
Oh, wow. My mouth literally just watered. That was intense.
Exactly. But let me ask you this. Did your brain first translate the word lemon into another language, search a bilingual dictionary in your mind, analyse the grammar, and then send a message to your saliva glands?
Not at all. The moment you said lemon, I saw the bright yellow skin, I felt the wood, and I instantly tasted that sharp, sour punch. It was immediate.
That right there is the core magic of native speech. But when thousands of English learners sit down to have a conversation, they don't experience that instant picture. Instead, they get stuck in a mental traffic jam. They hear an English word, convert it into their native language, construct an answer in their native language, translate that answer back into English word by word, check the grammar rules, and only then do they try to speak.
And by the time all that mental ping-pong finishes, the conversation has already moved 3 topics down the road. It leaves you feeling exhausted, slow, and frustrated.
Today, we're tackling this universal struggle head-on. We're going to show you how to stop translating in your head and master the visual association technique, so you can start thinking directly in English.
This is a B1, B2 level episode. If you're an intermediate learner, it's perfect for you.
And if you're an A1 or A2 learner, don't worry at all. You don't need to understand every single word we say today to get the magic of this lesson. Just lean back, relax, and stay with us.
Whether you're commuting to work on a crowded train right now, chopping vegetables for dinner, walking the dog in the park, or taking a quick study break with your tea, we are so glad you're here with us today.
So, James, let's look under the hood. Why do so many smart, dedicated learners fall into the trap of translating every sentence in their head?
It comes down to habit and comfort, Emma. When we start learning a new language in school, most traditional classrooms teach us through direct translation. A equals B. Word in language X equals word in language Y. It feels safe because your native language acts as a permanent life jacket.
Right. Your native language feels like solid ground. When you're trying to communicate in English, jumping straight into English feels like jumping off a boat into deep water without knowing if you can float. So your brain panics and reaches back for the life jacket, translating everything through your native tongue first.
But here is the flaw with that life jacket. It actually keeps you tethered to the spot. Let's contrast 2 approaches to see how this plays out in real life. Imagine you're at a networking event or a coffee shop and someone asks you, "How was your weekend?"
Okay, let's look at the wrong approach, the translation loop. A learner hears, "How was your weekend?" In their mind, they pause. They translate weekend into their native language. They remember that they went hiking. They think of the word for hiking in their native language, translate it to English, worry about whether to use I went to hike or I went hiking, verify the past tense rule for went, assemble the sentence like a complex Lego set, and finally speak 6 seconds later, I went hiking.
It feels stiff, heavy, and exhausting. Now let's look at the right approach, the visual association approach. You hear, "How was your weekend?" Instead of starting a word translation engine, your mind instantly flashes to a memory. Sunlight shining through green trees, the smell of fresh mountain air, dusty trail boots, and feeling refreshed.
You connect directly with that sensory scene and simply speak from the image. It was amazing. I went hiking up in the hills.
Which one feels better? The second approach bypasses the mental dictionary completely. You aren't matching English words to native words. You're matching English words directly to images, sensations, feelings, and experiences.
And here's the dirty secret about translation. Languages don't map onto each other one-to-one anyway. Idioms, prepositions, phrasal verbs, and subtle tones break down completely when you try to translate them word for word.
Absolutely. If you try to translate "I'm under the weather" literally word for word into another language, you end up telling someone you are physically standing underneath a rain cloud. It makes zero sense.
Stay with us, because in just a moment, we're going to break down the exact step-by-step method you can use starting today to rewire your brain with the visual association technique.
Now, let's get into the practical, step-by-step how-to. How do we actually train our brains to stop translating and start visualizing?
Step 1 is breaking the text-to-text connection and building a text-to-image connection. When you learn a new English word, never write down its native language definition next to it in your notebook. That is a game changer. If you write the English word on the left and your native translation on the right, you are physically training your eyes and brain to glue those two text forms together. Exactly. Instead, write the English word, draw a simple sketch next to it, or write down a sensory description. Let's give a concrete example. Suppose you want to learn the phrasal verb to drop by. The translation method says to drop by equals pay a short, unexpected visit in your native tongue. When you want to use it, you spend seconds trying to retrieve that native phrase. The visual association method says picture your neighbour popping their head around your open front door, waving, holding a plate of warm cookies, staying for just 2 minutes and leaving. Connect drop by directly to that movie clip in your head. When you want to say, "My friend dropped by yesterday," you aren't recalling grammar rules. You're simply describing the mental movie playing in your head.
Now, I know what some of our listeners are thinking. That works great for concrete things like lemons, hiking, or dropping by. But what about abstract concepts? How do I visualize words like efficiency, reluctant, or sustainability?
That is such a fantastic question, James. For abstract or harder concepts, you don't visualize a physical object. You visualize a mini scene or a symbolic relationship.
Give us an abstract example, Emma.
Let's take the word reluctant, which means unwilling or hesitant to do something. Don't write down a dictionary definition. Instead, picture a stubborn dog on a leash. Its paws are planted firmly on the sidewalk, its head is pulled back, and its owner is pulling gently forward. The dog doesn't want to move into the rain.
That image captures the emotional energy of being reluctant, far better than 5 lines of definition text. The moment you feel or need to express that feeling of resisting an action, that image of the dog on the sidewalk pops up and the word reluctant flies straight out of your mouth.
This brings us to our big aha insight for today. Fluency is not about how many grammar rules you can memorize. Fluency is about shortening the distance between a thought or image and the English word that describes it.
Wow. Read that again for the people in the back, Emma.
Fluency is about shortening the distance between an image or feeling in your head and the English word that expresses it. When you delete the native language middleman, you free up your brain's processing power to focus on connection, rhythm, and confidence.
Love that so much. And before we go any further, I think it's time for my absolute favourite part of the show.
I knew you were going to say that, James. You literally say, "That's my favourite part," every single episode.
What can I say? I'm a man of habit. But seriously, I love taking the ideas we just discussed and giving our listeners 5 powerful words they can immediately add to their mental picture gallery.
Today we have 5 beautiful B2 C1 level words tied directly to thinking in English and visual association. Let's dive in.
Word number 1 is instinctive.
Ooh, instinctive. That sounds like something automatic, right? Like an animal in the wild?
Spot on. Instinctive means doing something naturally, automatically, without needing to stop and think or reason through it.
Ah, so when you use the visual association technique long enough, speaking English becomes completely instinctive instead of a slow translation process.
Perfect connection. Here is a clear example sentence. After years of practice, her response in English was completely instinctive.
I love that. When a language becomes instinctive, you aren't fighting your mind anymore. It just flows. Word number 2 is visualize.
Ah, the star technique of today's entire episode. To visualize means to form a clear picture or mental image of something inside your mind.
Right. So instead of translating words from a textbook, you visualize the scene, like that sour lemon or the reluctant dog on the leash, to lock the meaning into your brain.
Exactly. Here is our sentence. To remember the new vocabulary, he tried to visualize a warm, sunny beach.
That creates such a clear mental picture. Visualization really bridges the gap between memory and speech. Word number 3 is a big one. Fluency. Ah, the ultimate destination for so many of our listeners. But what does fluency really mean in plain English? Fluency is the ability to speak or write a language easily, smoothly, and expressively, without constant stopping or long, awkward pauses. Yes, it doesn't mean having a perfect accent or knowing every word in the dictionary. It means communicating your thoughts smoothly, without getting stuck in mental translations. Precisely. Here is the example sentence. True fluency comes from thinking directly in your target language.
That is music to my ears, Emma. Fluency is freedom, not perfection. Word number 4 is hesitation. Hesitation is that moment of pausing or delaying before saying or doing something, usually because you feel uncertain, nervous, or slow. Right, like when you're translating in your head and there's that long, quiet silence while you search for the correct past tense verb.
Exactly. Mental translation creates massive hesitation. Here is the example sentence. She answered the interviewer's question without a single moment of hesitation.
Imagine how empowering that feels, speaking with smooth confidence, zero hesitation, because your mind is working directly in pictures and thoughts. Our 5th and final word today is association.
Association! That's the glue that holds this whole method together.
It really is. An association is a mental connection between ideas, feelings, memories, or objects.
So when you connect the English word apple directly to the red, crisp, sweet fruit instead of your native translation, you build a strong visual association.
You nailed it. Here is the example sentence. Making a strong mental association helps you recall vocabulary instantly.
5 incredible words. Now, Emma, let's do our quick review lightning round. I'll start us off.
Instinctive. Happening automatically without forced thought.
Visualize.
Creating a clear picture inside your mind.
Fluency. Speaking smoothly and effortlessly.
Hesitation. A pause caused by uncertainty or mental delay.
Association. A strong mental connection between an idea and an image.
Now, Emma, before we leave the vocab section, I have a quick question for you. Which of these 5 was your absolute favourite word today?
Oh, hands down, my favourite word today is... Wait, can you guess, James?
I'm guessing it's fluency. Because you love talking about smooth communication.
Close, but wrong. My favourite word today is actually instinctive. Because when English becomes instinctive, speaking stops feeling like work and starts feeling like playing music.
Ah, brilliant choice. I love that.
As we wind down today's episode, let's take a deep breath and return to where we started.
Remember that juicy yellow lemon from the beginning of our chat? Your brain didn't need a dictionary or a grammar rulebook to taste that sour juice. It just saw the image and reacted.
Your English brain works the exact same way.
Stop treating English like a math problem you have to solve and translate.
Start treating English like a picture book you get to experience.
Picture the scene.
Feel the emotion.
Connect the image directly to the word.
Drop the translation life jacket.
And trust yourself to swim.
I'm Emma.
And I'm James.
And you've been listening to the English Goal podcast. Keep learning, keep growing, and never be afraid to let go of translation and picture your ideas out loud.
And remember, your English goal
And your life goal.
are both closer than you think.
We'll see you in the next episode.